love the Eagles as much as we do, then hit that subscribe button and stick with us at Eagles Nest News for all the drama, updates, and hype all season long. The air around the Eagles facility feels different, and when insiders whisper, the echoes travel fast. What people close to the team are suggesting is that Nick Sirianni has already begun a quiet farewell to Jalen Hurts. Not with a press conference or a dramatic statement, but with subtle gestures, long conversations behind closed doors, and a tone that sounds more like gratitude than planning. The rumor gaining traction is that Hurts himself made the call to move on, driven by a mix of personal ambition and a sense that his journey in Philadelphia may have reached a natural pause. In this speculative narrative, Sirianni comes across as a coach torn between respect and disappointment, fully aware of how much the quarterback shaped the identity of the team. Sources claim the goodbye was emotional, layered with appreciation for battles fought together and trust built over time. Nothing official has been said, but the silence itself speaks loudly. When leaders stop denying rumors, fans start connecting dots. This story feels less like an ending and more like a crossroads, where both sides believe separation could spark new growth. Whether this becomes reality or fades into myth, the feeling around the Eagles is that something meaningful has shifted beneath the surface. What makes this rumor resonate is the idea that Jalen Hurts did not leave out of conflict, but out of clarity. According to chatter among league circles, the quarterback has been reflecting deeply on his career path, weighing comfort against challenge and familiarity against reinvention. The speculation paints Hurts as calm, deliberate, and ready to test himself in a new environment, even if that means stepping away from a city that embraced him. Sirianni, in this version of events, is portrayed as understanding that mindset all too well. Coaches often preach growth and accountability, and sometimes that philosophy leads to painful goodbyes. People close to the locker room suggest that Sirianni's message was less about convincing Hurts to stay and more about wishing him strength wherever he lands. The emotional intelligence of that moment is what fans are clinging to in this rumor, imagining a coach who knows when to hold on and when to let go. This is not framed as a fracture, but as a respectful release. The whispers say both men believe their legacies together are secure, even if their futures now point in different directions. Another layer of speculation focuses on how this potential departure could reshape the Eagles' identity. Hurts has been more than a quarterback in the eyes of many supporters. He has symbolized resilience, leadership, and calm under pressure. The idea of Sirianni saying goodbye feels like the end of an era defined by trust and shared belief. Rumor has it that the coach addressed the broader team with carefully chosen words, emphasizing gratitude without confirming anything concrete. That kind of speech fuels imagination, especially when players reportedly listened in silence, fully aware that something important was being hinted at. The narrative suggests Sirianni wanted to control the emotional temperature, avoiding panic while acknowledging uncertainty. Fans reading between the lines see the coach preparing his group for change without revealing the full picture. In this speculative world, the Eagles are bracing for transformation, and Hurts' choice becomes the catalyst. The idea is not that the team is weakened, but that it is entering a phase of reinvention. Rumors thrive in moments like this, when leadership signals transition without explanation. The YouTuber-style chatter also highlights the personal bond between Sirianni and Hurts, which makes the rumored farewell feel heavier. Observers claim their relationship was built on honesty, long talks, and mutual respect rather than rigid hierarchy. In this telling, Sirianni did not see Hurts merely as a player executing a system, but as a partner in shaping culture. That is why the supposed goodbye carries emotional weight. The rumors suggest there were no raised voices, no ultimatums, just acceptance. Hurts, according to speculation, expressed appreciation for the trust he received and the freedom to grow. Sirianni, in turn, acknowledged how much he learned from coaching a quarterback who led by example. This kind of ending feels almost cinematic, and fans are drawn to it because it contrasts with the usual chaos of roster changes. Whether true or not, the the story resonates because it aligns with the image both men have cultivated publicly. It feels authentic, which is why it spreads so quickly across conversations and comment sections. As this rumor continues to circulate, questions naturally arise about what comes next for both sides. For Hurts, speculation points toward a desire to redefine himself, to prove that his success was not tied to one system or one coach. The whispers suggest he wants a fresh challenge, a new city, and a different set of expectations. For Sirianni, the narrative frames him as a coach ready to evolve, willing to reshape his offense and leadership approach if it means long-term stability. The rumor goodbye is not portrayed as a loss, but as an exchange of respect. Fans debating this online seem divided between sadness and excitement, sensing that change can be painful but necessary. The absence of official confirmation keeps the story alive, feeding theories and emotional reactions. In the world of sports storytelling, uncertainty is fertile ground, and this situation has all the elements of a turning point. Whether the rumor becomes reality or fades away, it has already shifted how people talk about the Eagles. In the end, what captivates audiences is not just the possibility of Jalen Hurts leaving, but the human story behind it. The speculation suggests maturity, self-awareness, and mutual respect, qualities that fans often hope exist behind the scenes. Sirianni's rumored farewell is painted as calm and dignified, a moment where a coach recognizes when a chapter has reached its final page. Hurts' decision, in this narrative, is framed as courageous rather than selfish, driven by a desire to keep growing rather than settling. This is why the rumor feels powerful. It invites fans to imagine a professional sports world where goodbyes are thoughtful and relationships matter. Even without confirmation, the story resonates because it aligns with how people want to see their heroes act. As the whispers continue, one thing is clear. The idea of Sirianni and Hurts parting ways has already left an emotional mark on the Eagles community. Now, moving into the second part of this speculative tale, the conversation shifts toward how the Eagles fan base is processing this possible separation. Online discussions are filled with emotional reactions, ranging from disbelief to cautious acceptance. The rumor of Sirianni saying goodbye to Hurts has triggered memories of past transitions, moments when beloved figures moved on and left fans searching for hope. In this imagined scenario, supporters replay interviews, sideline interactions, and press moments, trying to find hidden clues that this ending was always coming. The lack of direct statements only amplifies the tension. Fans feel caught between trust in leadership and fear of the unknown. The speculation suggests that Sirianni understands this emotional landscape and is deliberately choosing patience, allowing the dust to settle before addressing anything publicly. This silence is interpreted by many as confirmation, even though nothing has been said. The rumor thrives in this space, where imagination fills the gaps left by official channels. It becomes less about facts and more about collective feeling. Another angle gaining traction in this speculative narrative is the impact on the locker room. Whispers suggest that players close to Hurts are reflecting on their own futures, wondering how leadership changes might affect them. The idea of Hurts leaving creates a ripple effect, even if it remains unconfirmed. In this version of events, Sirianni is seen as a stabilizing presence, reminding his team that identities are bigger than individuals. The rumored goodbye is framed as an example of professionalism, showing younger players how to handle change with dignity. This storytelling paints the Eagles as an organization trying to balance loyalty with progress. Fans imagining these scenes feel a mix of pride and anxiety. Pride in the idea that their team handles transitions with class, and anxiety about what comes next. The rumor becomes a mirror reflecting broader fears about continuity, success, and trust in leadership. It is not just about one quarterback, but about the soul of the team. Speculation also turns toward how the league at large is viewing this potential move. According to chatter, other teams are watching closely, aware that a quarterback like Hurts does not become available often. This fuels the rumor even more, as fans imagine behind-the-scenes conversations and quiet evaluations. In this narrative, Hurts is portrayed as calm and focused, unaffected by noise, already envisioning his next chapter. Sirianni, meanwhile, is speculated to be fielding questions internally about succession plans, even if no decision has been finalized. The story suggests a chess match of preparation, where everyone anticipates change without acknowledging it openly. This kind of tension is magnetic for audiences, especially when framed through a YouTuber's voice that leans into intrigue. The speculation becomes entertainment, but also emotional investment. Fans feel like they are witnessing a pivotal moment, even if the truth remains just out of reach. What keeps this rumor alive is the absence of denial. In sports culture, silence is often louder than words, and this situation is no exception. The narrative suggests that Sirianni's demeanor has shifted subtly, his tone more reflective, his comments more measured. Observers interpret this as a coach mentally preparing for a new era. Hurts, in this speculative world, is seen as respectful and private, choosing not to fuel speculation but also not shutting it down. This mutual restraint adds credibility to the rumor in the eyes of fans. It feels intentional, as if both sides are allowing the story to unfold naturally. The YouTube-style narration thrives on these details, connecting emotional dots and inviting viewers to draw their own conclusions. The lack of clarity becomes part of the drama, keeping audiences engaged and eager for any new hint or development. As the imagined farewell continues to be discussed, some fans begin reframing it as a positive evolution rather than a loss. The rumors suggest that growth sometimes requires separation, and that holding on too tightly can limit potential. In this framing, Sirianni's goodbye is not an admission of failure, but a recognition of timing. Hurts' decision to leave is not abandonment, but ambition. This perspective resonates with viewers who value long-term vision over short-term comfort. The speculative story becomes inspirational, suggesting that both coach and player are brave enough to choose uncertainty in pursuit of excellence. Fans sharing this viewpoint often emphasize trust in the organization, believing that adaptability is key to sustained success. The rumor, then, transforms from a source of anxiety into a symbol of maturity. Ultimately, the power of this speculative narrative lies in its emotional authenticity. Whether or not Jalen Hurts actually leaves, the idea of Nick Sirianni saying goodbye has already sparked reflection among fans and commentators. It forces questions about loyalty, ambition, and the nature of success in professional sports. The YouTuber-style storytelling leans into these themes, speaking directly to viewers' emotions and sense of identity as supporters. This rumor is not just about a roster move, but about the human side of competition. It reminds audiences that behind helmets and playbooks are people making difficult choices. As the story continues to circulate, one thing remains certain. The possibility alone has changed the conversation around the Eagles. And sometimes, in sports, the rumor itself becomes part of the legacy. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The speculation keeps unfolding as fans begin to question whether this rumored farewell is part of a larger philosophical shift within the Eagles organization. In this imagined scenario, Nick Sirianni is not just reacting to Jalen Hurts' decision, but reflecting on his own identity as a head coach. The whispers suggest he may see this moment as an opportunity to redefine leadership, to prove that a system can adapt beyond one star figure. Supporters dissect every public appearance, every carefully worded answer, searching for emotional cues. The absence of urgency in Sirianni's demeanor is interpreted as confidence, as if he believes the foundation is strong enough to withstand major change. This fuels a narrative where stability comes not from holding on to names, but from trusting culture. The rumor paints Sirianni as someone willing to absorb criticism now in exchange for long-term respect later. Fans drawn into this storyline feel torn, because while they admire that mindset, they also fear the uncertainty it brings. The emotional tension between principle and attachment becomes central to how this speculative farewell is discussed. Another layer of rumor focuses on how Jalen Hurts himself is handling the emotional weight of this potential departure. In this narrative, he is portrayed as introspective, aware of how deeply he is connected to the city and its fans. The whispers suggest his decision was not impulsive, but the result of long internal dialogue about purpose and growth. Some imagine Hurts walking away, not because he lacks belief in the Eagles, but because he believes too strongly in his own evolution. This version of the story resonates with fans who value self-determination, even when it hurts. Sirianni's rumored goodbye, then, becomes a moment of mutual recognition rather than persuasion. The idea is that neither man tried to change the other's mind. Instead, they acknowledge that paths sometimes diverge. This framing elevates the story beyond transactional sports talk and into something more reflective, almost philosophical. It is this depth that keeps audiences emotionally invested. As the rumor spreads, content creators and commentators amplify its dramatic elements, leaning into the idea that this could redefine the franchise's narrative. The imagined farewell is described as quiet but powerful, lacking spectacle yet heavy with meaning. Fans speculate about future press conferences that may never confirm or deny what they already believe to be true. In this storytelling space, anticipation becomes more important than resolution. The Eagles are portrayed as standing on the edge of transformation, with Sirianni guiding the process through calm authority. Hurts, meanwhile, is imagined as stepping into uncertainty with confidence, carrying lessons learned rather than resentment. This dual evolution is what makes the rumor compelling. It suggests that success is not always about staying together, but about knowing when to let go. Viewers consuming this narrative feel like witnesses to a defining chapter, even if the chapter exists only in speculation. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.